called me to buy their house.
My name is Brent Patterson. Dan Franklin gave us $30,000 more for our house. Definitely call Dan if you want more money for your house.
I'm Bill Mays. I made an extra $18,000 working with Dan.
My name is Brenda Griffin. Dan Franklin gave us over $15,000 more for our house. Definitely call Dan.
Okay, now it's your turn. Would you like a higher cash offer? I'm Dan Franklin. I'll pay you cash and I'll pay you more. Call me today at 214-929-5555. That's 214-929-5555.
If you're retired or retiring soon, you may be wondering if you have enough money to retire on. Are you properly diversified? Are you prepared if there's a stock market crash? What age should you take Social Security?
This is Ken Moraif, host of the Money Matters radio show, inviting you to our free seminar.
Get answers to your questions and more. Choose 1 p.m. Saturday, June 3rd, Rockwall, Tuesday, June 6th, Fort Worth Medical District, Wednesday, June 7th in Plano. Reserve at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net, or call 800-994-0302.
Hi, I'm Larry Patterson, owner of Glass Doctor. In our disposable society, we're conditioned to throw out the whole thing when just one part goes bad. Like when the insulated glass windows in your home get condensation between the panes. You don't need to replace the whole window. The specialists at Glass Doctor can install new insulated glass in your existing frames with a lifetime warranty for a lot less than you might think. To see how quick and easy it is, visit glassdoctor.com today. That's glassdoctor.com.
Call the Glass Doctor, will fix your paint. Oh, yeah!
660 AM, The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. I just fired up the video. If you want to go to YouTube live events and see my dashingly perfect military haircut provided for me, of course, for a small fee, by Tony Corley at Spa 10 in Azle City, Texas. I go all the way to Azle to get my haircut because she's a master at it. Maybe not necessarily cutting everyone's hair, but certainly mine, because she's able to negotiate the bumps and you know, all the deficiencies and deteriorating kind of things. No, she's fantastic. If you want to get your hair done, go see Tony. You'll be glad you did. I got this last night. I could not believe it. My first space hero was John Glenn. It was because my parents got me one of my all-time favorite books. It was the Reader's Digest for young readers. It was a hardbound book. And I got in mind the story of John Glenn's flight on Friendship 7. And how the spacecraft malfunctioned, and they thought that maybe the heat shield had come loose, et cetera, et cetera. When he got back to the United States after his flight, the NASA wouldn't let him fly anymore. And there were two reasons why. Because he was an American space icon, much to the annoyance of Alan Shepard, who was the first American in space. Yeah. Anyway, John Glenn sat and ran for office, became a senator in the state of Ohio, and served this country until, as an old man, he went back up into space on the space shuttle. Got his second flight, decades and decades after his first. He died this year. He was 95 years old. Obviously, he was going to be interred at Arlington National Cemetery. Glenn's remains traveled to Ohio, his home state, which he represented for 24 years as a U.S. Senator. And the family asked the United States Air Force to look after Colonel John Glenn. A senior mortuary employee at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware twice offered horrific inspectors a peek at John Glenn's body, where the famed astronaut awaited burial. Pentagon officials are outraged. A top-level investigation is underway to determine whether misconduct was committed. The memo, written by Deborah Skillman, the Defense Department's Director of Casualty and Mortuary Affairs, states the employee's alleged actions were clearly inappropriate and personally shocking. By the way, the inspectors at no time viewed the remains, but not because a senior mortuary employee at Dover Air Force Base didn't try to show them to him. You're listening to the Wells Report.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-827-5948 now. That's 800-827-5948 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-827-5948 to learn more. 800-827-5948. That's 800-827-5948. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
When you have sleep apnea, traveling can be a real drag because you have to drag your big, bulky home CPAP device with you everywhere you go. But not anymore. Now you can travel easily and sleep comfortably anywhere thanks to Transcend, the world's very first mini CPAP. And right now, you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights. So call now, 1-800-600-4133. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. You can even add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so incredibly small and light, you can easily fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Now you can enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. But don't delay. To receive your 10-night in-home trial, call minicpap.com now. 1-800-600-4133. Again, that's 1-800-600-4133.
Attention, this is an investor notice. Are you interested in making some extra cash buying real estate tax liens? Then listen to this. The Government Tax Lien Network is offering a free tax lien kit, which contains 2 DVDs and a step-by-step report that will show you how to earn guaranteed returns between 15 and 35% yearly, which is completely secured by the government. They'll even show you how to do this inside your own retirement accounts. So if you're looking to become a real estate investor without risk, then call 1-800-408-8767 to get your free tax lien kit. Then get ready to buy tax liens for pennies on the dollar and buy houses for as low as $500, all from your home with little or no money, working only 5 to 10 hours per week. Call 800-408-8767 right now to get your free tax lien kit, plus 2 free tickets to a live training event and a free $20 Visa gift card just for attending. Call 800-408-8767. That's 800-408-8767 for your free tax lien kit now. Individual results may vary.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I had gout in both my knees, and it's gone.
Well, I'm pretty stupid. I should have ordered it 15 years ago. It's the most effective product that I've ever bought in my life.
He had eczema on his hand, and it cracked for years. He did anything from doctor, every cream, everything. And 3 months on the veggies and fruit, it was gone.
They're just awesome. They keep asking me, what am I doing? I told them what I did with my cholesterol. I had the blood test, right? And it went down 100 points. 262, now it's 162. Everything is just perfect.
Balance of Nature is celebrating its 20th anniversary by providing you the best offer they've ever given. 2 free months of fruits and veggies, and free shipping. Call now for details. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code 660AM.
Speed Queen washers and dryers, built for commercial use and now available for the home, are designed to last over 10,400 cycles or 25 years. But if you're an overworked multi-kids 10 loads a week kind of laundry doer, these machines may only last 20 years, even with Speed Queen's commercial quality metal components. So, buy a Speed Queen knowing you may be in for a mere 20 years of continuous use. Visit us at speedqueen.com.
If your home air conditioning unit is over 15 years old, did you know you could replace it with a new high-energy efficient system and pay for it with the savings on your electric bill? It's true. And right now, choose either 0% financing or get $1,500 in rebates off a brand new AC system. Call Max Mechanical today for a free estimate and mention promo code HouseTalkTexas. Find out more at maxmechanical.com. That's maxmechanical.com.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report. Must hear radio on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number 866-660-5759. Captain James Shively spent 6 years in the Hanoi Hilton. It was awful. The story of Captain James Shively has been told by his daughter, who was 5 years old, when he became Amy Shively's dad. I'm sorry, when he became Amy Shively. Okay, sorry. When he became Amy Shively's father. I did say it right to begin with. I don't even know why I tried to correct myself. See? The only mistakes I make is when I think I make a mistake and I have to correct myself and make a mistake. Kidding. Totally joking. That was not anywhere close to real. Fumble. Let's try again. Coming up later on tonight, Amy Shively will tell the story of Captain James Shively, who became Amy's dad when she was 5 years old. Amy Shively Hawk is the stepdaughter of James Shively, who married Amy's mom after his release from a Hanoi prison that was so amazingly intense and awful and terrible. It's surprising that anyone survived. She will tell that story coming up tonight on the Wells Report here on 660 AM The Answer. And let me ask you this. Who do you remember on Memorial Day? It is a day set aside to honor our war dead. Do you have someone in your family who passed on after serving in the military or did indeed give their lives in service to this nation while a member of the military? If you do, tell us their story, please. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. Let me get to Albert in Fort Worth. Albert, thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Well, hello, John, Mr. Wells. Yeah, listen, I in 03, before we went into Iraq, it was March 19th actually, and that morning I was listening to the radio and watching television, Fox News, and I remember weeks before that I was hoping that we would, that Saddam Hussein and his sons would go into exile, and then the war, we wouldn't have the war, and we'd bring our men back. And anyways, it didn't happen. Next thing I know, I turn it on, and I'm hearing about our first casualties, and it just broke my heart. Like that's never happened like that before. We had the first Iraq War. I listened, I knew about it, but it broke my heart that morning, and I wrote this song. It's called No Greater Love. And then I went to a friend of mine, who's a producer, and I said, hey, I want to record this tune real quick. And so I went into the studio, I recorded it. The next day I was out there at every VFW, everywhere around, and with my guitar and playing for all the vets. And and with the soundtrack singing my song called No Greater Love, but it's actually our song because I just captured the sentiment of that morning and I put it in this song. And as I said, the call screener there, I said, I'm just a mule that this message wrote in on. It's called And anyways, and the first time I showed it to was CBS News over there in Laredo, Texas. And the guy, I said, here you go, Mr. Gutierrez. He was an anchor there, and I said, here's a copy of it. And I got in the car, took off. I got to downtown, which is about maybe 5 minutes away. And I got a call from him, and he said, hey, I want you to come I want to do an interview with you. So boom, I did an interview right away and came into the studio there where I recorded, and boom, we about 3 months later, he wanted to do another sit down in the studio interview. Anyways, but when I did the song there in Houston with Phil, I went and auditioned it for at the Memorial Cemetery, National Cemetery there, before a 30-panel board, something like that. And they said, okay, we'll be in touch. So they called me about a week later and said, we want you to do the show. So I show up at the Memorial Cemetery, and they hand me a program, and there's a bunch of other singers, and there's dignitaries, congressmen, and Sheila Jackson Lee was there that day. And ironically, when I got done with singing the song, she came and asked me for my autograph.
That's great.
I thought that was, I thought that was pretty crazy. But
let me ask you this: where can people hear the song today? Where can people go to hear it?
I'll tell you what. Here it is, right here.
Albert, tell you what, Albert, we can't do that for all kinds of different reasons having to do with copyrights and so on and so on. But if you can put that up on a website someplace, we will be more than happy to send people there so they can hear your song, buddy. But I can't play it on the air. I'm sorry for legal reasons and licensing and all kinds of stuff. But I appreciate the gift. Thank you very much, Albert. Thanks for the story. I appreciate it. Tyler in Fort Worth, welcome to the Wells Report. Hello.
Hi, how you doing, sir?
Good, hanging tough, living large. And you?
Oh, just working hard, getting ready to do our Memorial Day thing coming up this weekend, or this fun day.
What is that Memorial Day thing that you're discussing?
Well, what we're doing is we run this little military museum over here in Fort Worth, and we relocated down to the stockyards, and so we're going to be having our Memorial Day ceremony down there, and we're going to be honoring and remembering, more importantly, I guess, the fallen from Fort Worth from all the various conflicts: World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Gulf Wars, and we're having a little ceremony out there at 1:00 down there, right, kind of off to the left of the Stockyards Coliseum.
Yes,
so
sir.
It's right there at Exchange, and we're just going to be out there reading some names. We're going to have they're going to be reading the winner of the first annual military history poem contest. The Fort Worth Poet Society started a poetry contest about people who wanted to write stuff about fallen soldiers or service or whatever. So they're going to be announcing that winner there as well. And we'll be also having some exhibits and stuff about some fallen soldiers there.
That sounds great, man. If people, is there a place they can go to find out more about your about what you're doing?
Yeah. They can go to militarymuseumfortworth.org, or they can go to our Facebook page, Military Museum Fort Worth. It tells you where and tells you kind of what we are.
All right, my friend. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. 866-660-5759. Who do you memorialize on this Memorial Day? Who is it that you memorialize? Who do you remember and why? This can be somebody who served in the military but is no longer with us, or somebody who died in service in the military. 866-660-5759. Dusty and Aubrey, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Hey, JD. I would like you to know about my grandfather, Colonel Albert Lee Holcomb.
Tell me about him.
He was drafted out of high school into World War II, stayed in the Air Force all the way until Vietnam. When Vietnam started, He was a bird colonel in the Pentagon.
Wow.
Volunteered to go to Vietnam, went down to Florida, rounded up a crew, and started the Jolly Green Giant Rescue Squadron.
No.
Went to Vietnam, stayed in Vietnam, flew missions in Vietnam, and my father still has many of the voice recording tapes of those missions.
Oh, boy.
Came back from Vietnam, was offered a star to go back to the Pentagon, at which point in time he told them that he went to Vietnam to get out of that place and retired.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I've heard that before.
He died Friday the 13th, 1978, and I was the only one of all the grandchildren who ever got to know him.
Well, I'm glad you did, because we have profited by hearing about him and his story. Thank you very much for sharing it with us, Dusty.
Thank you.
God bless you. Thank you. Perfect. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. Can you imagine? Golly, how many lives did that guy save? I mean, Vietnam was the first opportunity to really get people out of a war zone and back to where they could be saved. Amazing. 866-660-5759. James in Garland, Texas. Thanks for joining us. Who do you memorialize on Memorial Day this year?
I would like to memorialize my Uncle Marshall. Was in World War II from 41 to 45, and he fought under George Patton. He made all the river crossings, Rhine, the Czar, and the Moselle. And when he got out, he had the Silver Star, Bronze Star, and Purple Heart.
Whoa. All the soldier medals.
Yes.
That's awesome, man.
Not all of them, but.
Well, the Medal of Honor. I mean, those are the ones you want. Silver Star, Bronze Star, and a Purple Heart. That's not the one you want, but if you have to have one, wear it proudly, for crying out loud.
Yeah, and he was under George Patton.
Wow. Did he talk about it much? Did he talk about his life and how he lived through that war?
He never talked about it a whole lot. He just, he never talked to me about it that much. I was young then, but he never spoke to me about it. I don't know if he did any of the rest of the family or not, but he never talked about it a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the story. Thanks very much for your uncle's service to the station. I sure appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Tim in Forney, Texas.
Grandpa.
Hello, Tim. For Tim. Hello. Hello, Tim.
Hello, guy.
Hi. Welcome to the
Can you
Wells
hear me?
Report. Yes, I can.
Okay. Yeah, I want to memorialize my father. He was 101st Airborne.
Was he really?
Yes, sir. World War II and Korea. 2 Purple Hearts in both of them.
Ooh.
And yes, he survived enough to come home and find my mommy. And I miss him so much.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
25 years ago, we lost him. But anyway, he went in when he was 18.
Wow.
World War II.
Yeah.
And just, he loved our country. We do too.
I'm sure you do. Thanks, Tim. I appreciate it. Thank you. 866-660-5759. Who do you memorialize on Memorial Day? Danny in Plano, Texas. How you doing?
Good. How are you? I'd like to memorialize my grandfather that fought in World War II in the mountains of Greece.
Yeah.
Against the Nazis. And my father told me a couple stories. And he was fighting with bolt-action rifle, and they were out of water, and he was licking the condensation off the bullets to get water.
Yeah. Yeah,
And,
it's amazing what you'll do when you need a good drink of water.
They had something Oki Day. We have an Oki Day in Greece.
Uh-huh.
We held the Nazis with bolt action 3 months in the mountains of Greece.
Good
so
for
we're pretty
them.
proud of that. My father fought in Vietnam.
That's incredible, man. Thanks very much. Please tell your grandfather we said hello. Of course, he may not be with us, but tell your family that we sincerely appreciate all of his great efforts. 866-660-5759. Jeff in Burleson, Texas. Welcome to the
Hey,
Wells
Mr.
Report.
Wells.
Hey, buddy.
Thank you. Enjoy your show.
Thank
I'll
you.
make this quick. My father was in the 82nd Airborne in World War II. He joined 3 days after his 16th birthday.
Wow.
And he had 3 jumps with the 82nd, which is kind of unheard of in its time. He was in a foxhole, and he was trying to retrieve the lieutenant who was crawling back to the foxhole without legs. And as he did, they were hit by an 88.
Oh,
if
my
you do
God.
some research, you know what that is.
Yeah, I sure
So
do.
it killed all 13 people in the foxhole except for one, which was my father. He was hospitalized for 9 months in a coma, never expected to have children, and had 5.
Okay? Away.
Yep. And the second one I'd like to announce is I have this thing when I see a veteran, I have to approach them. So I went up and I seen a man with World War II, and I asked, he's 90 years old, still alive, and I asked him, I congratulated him, and he said, thank you. And I said, is it okay if I pray for you? And he said, yeah. And when I left, his wife chased me down out in the parking lot, and I said, what's wrong? He says, well, he's uncontrollably crying in the restaurant. And I said, what's wrong? He said, well, she said, he was a B-52 bomber over Berlin, and he had carried the guilt of all the children he thought he killed in World War II. And I told him when I was praying for him that blood's on Hitler's hands, not yours. And she said he's carried that guilt for 50 years, and for the first time in 50 years, he does not have that guilt.
God bless you, Jeff. Good job.
That was my story. Thanks, Mr.
Thank you,
Wells.
man. Thank you so much. Call me JD. This is the Wells Report.
Have you still not refinanced your mortgage? Well, soon you may be kicking yourself in the head. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial, and interest rates have gone up recently and will continue to rise, but they're still at historical lows. So don't delay. Let us lower your monthly payment, consolidate a first and second, pay off other debt, or drop you into a 15-year loan with no closing costs. That's right. Nothing's rolled into your loan. We'll pay for your appraisal, title, underwriting, settlement fee, everything. Do not miss out on this historic opportunity. Whether it's a purchase or refinance, you'll pay no closing costs. You won't spend a dime. Think about it. All it takes is a 5-minute phone call to find out how we can save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year. And by the way, Westland Financial now is proud to offer reverse mortgages for our clients over 62. So call us at 888-455-3669. The only way you can lose money is not to call Westland Financial. That's 888-455-3669. 888-455-3669.
Westland Financial Corp is located at 200 East Sandpoint Avenue, Suite 800, Santa Ana, California, 92707. Licensed by the Texas Department of Savings and Mortgage Lending as an SML Mortgage Banker. NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
Terminix 1 to Terminix 2. I've discovered the secret location of the termite colony. I'm moving in.
Roger that. Need backup? We have a team 10,000 strong.
I'm going in alone. Must take termites out before they cause more destruction.
You could be outnumbered 1,000,000 to 1.
At Terminix, we like those odds.
Don't let termites invade your home. Once they start, they are relentless, eating every minute of every day. Termites are never satisfied, so take immediate action. Call Terminix at 1-800-600-0612. As America's leading termite control provider, Terminix will do whatever it takes to stop termites in their tracks with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Termites never stop trying to get in. Terminix never stops working to keep them out. And if they ever come back, so will Terminix.
Mission accomplished.
Termites reported on Park Street.
Let's go. Not a moment to lose.
For a free termite inspection, call the experts at Terminix, Defenders of Home. 1-800-600-0612. 1-800-600-0612.
30-day money-back guarantee at participating locations.
The sale of the century is going on right now at the 3 Huffines auto dealerships in Plano. This is truly a once-in-a-lifetime auto buying opportunity at Huffines Chevrolet, Huffines Hyundai, and Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Plano. As you know, Plano was hammered by the recent hailstorms, and with the insurance adjustments, Huffines can save you like never before. Save 40% off MSRP on new Huffines Chevy Silverados, 40% off MSRP on new Huffines Ram pickups, and 40% off MSRP on new Huffines Hyundai Elantras. Plus, all come with a full mechanical factory warranty. So pay less in Plano when you save 40% on select models at Huffines Chevrolet Plano and Huffines Hyundai Plano at Coit Road and Plano Parkway, and Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Plano at Ohio and Plano Parkway. Parkway or online at huffines.net.
Example stock number 7C1443, MSRP 46,720. 40% hail discount includes rebates 18,688. Sale price 28,032. Price excludes tax and fees. MSRP will vary with stock number. Offer is stock number specific. 212 available with this hail discount. See huffines.net for more info.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. I've told you a lot over the years about the life-saving information I've gotten from my friends at Viascan of Las Colinas. I want you to hear another Viascan success story from Chuck.
This is Chuck Prince. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. I had heard your ads about Viascan. We did the full body scan, said, you have a mass here that you need to get checked out. Went back and see the doctor, and he said that I had kidney cancer. Did have the surgery. I'm now 5 years cancer-free. I owe it all to Viascan for finding that.
Isn't that great? And this is what I've had happen to me at Viascan of Las Colinas. I learn a lot. I stay healthier longer. Viascan of Las Colinas with the following great deal: heart scan and body scan, $695. It's thousands at local hospitals. $695 for a heart scan that'll see plaques and blockages in your heart, and a body scan that'll see if you got any little cancer setting up shop in places you don't want. 972-739-2840, 972-739-2840, or just Google Viascan.
Fitness HQ and Busybody Store.
Gary, you know that there are people out there who have that old piece of exercise equipment they're just not using.
I know you're 100% right, Craig. So let's do something to get our customers into our Busybody and Fitness HQ stores and re-inspire them to work out again.
What were you thinking?
How about we offer all of our customers double the trade-in value on their old equipment towards the purchase of a new piece of equipment?
Wow, that's amazing. Double the value on trades. And on top of that, now through Memorial Day, let's offer up to 18 months of interest-free financing and free delivery and installation.
Plus, all brands like Precor, Octane, True, Horizon, Life Fitness, Nordic Track, and Cybex are on sale up to $1,200 off.
And to top it all off, our Busybody and Fitness HQ stores can even get your sales tax back. Now there are no excuses to get back in shape for the summer.
Fitness HQ and Busybody Store.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Randy in Flower Mound, Texas. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Well, sir, JD, I don't think about it much like a hero deal, but my mother was one of the 6 secretaries for Wild Bill Donovan when he was running the OSS from the State Department during the war. And she was really good at shorthand, which is a lost art now, but she would get picked up by the FBI in the morning in Arlington.
Yeah.
They'd drive her over to work.
Yeah.
And then when she was finished at 5 o'clock, they would come in, burn all her typewriter ribbons, burn all the carbon paper, and carry her on back home.
Randy, if you're curious, anybody that had anything to do with Wild Bill Donovan and the OSS in World War II is a hero. Anybody. What those guys did was nothing short of world-saving heroics. And that includes your mom. Just so you know.
Well, that's good to know.
God bless you, Randy. What a great story. This is the Wells Report on Memorial Day. Another great story. Amy Shively is next. Her father, 6 years in the Hanoi Hilton. You'll hear the story next on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. I've been telling you about Relief Factor for about 6 months now. I've been using Relief Factor for a lot longer than that. Just like you, I've heard about Relief Factor on the radio, and I simply had to try it because I had hip and knee pain that wasn't going away. Well, it worked for me in about 2.5 weeks. So I asked them if I could endorse the product. That's a true story. Now I'm hearing from listeners everywhere, like Tim from Pennsylvania, who wrote, "Pain I had lived with for 3 to 4 years has completely disappeared after 2 months of Relief Factor. It has totally vanished. I'll be 72 in March, and I feel at least 10 years younger. It's great to be pain-free again." It sure is. If you're struggling with ongoing back or neck pain, shoulder, hip, knee pain, general muscle aches and pain, Do what I did. Go to relieffactor.com, order their 3-week quick start for just $19.95. Try it for 3 weeks, $19.95. Relieffactor.com. That's relieffactor.com, or call toll free 800-500-8384, 800-500-8384.
We hadn't talked. We didn't want to touch. I mean, we didn't feel close in years. But Marriage Fitness turned our marriage around. Thank you so much, Mort.
Counseling was just a weekly blame fest. It drained us emotionally and financially. Marriage Fitness is totally different. This program actually works.
Hello, I'm Mort Fertel, creator of Marriage Fitness, the revolutionary clinically proven program that will save your marriage. This is not marriage counseling. You won't have to dig into your past or dredge up your problems. Instead, you'll use a step-by-step system of positive relationship habits that will transform your marriage.
My husband wanted out and wouldn't go for help. I started Marriage Fitness alone. Now he wants back in, and we're doing the program together. Mort, you're the best.
Start with Mort's free report, 7 Secrets to Fixing Your Marriage, at 2marriagefitness.com. You'll also get 5 free marriage assessments. There are no strings attached. Get the free Fix Your Marriage report and the free assessments at 2marriagefitness.com. The number 2marriagefitness.com.
After a rough day on the range, a fella can get a bit saddle sore. That's why I use Blue Emu Original Super Strength Cream. It works fast and penetrates deep to soothe my tired muscles and joints.
And he don't stink.
And I'll tell you one thing, I had no idea this stuff was so darn handy.
Blue Emu Original Super Strength Cream. Available at all major retailers.
It works fast for long-lasting soothing of tired muscles and joints.
And you won't stink.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Karen McHugh. The G7 summit winds down this weekend in Sicily as President Trump makes some waves.
According to German media, in a meeting of EU leaders, President Trump said the Germans were bad, really bad. This morning, his chief economic advisor, Gary Cohn, moved to clean up the incident, insisting the president was talking about German trade practices, not Germany itself. Then later today said, well, the whole thing never happened.
Fox's John Roberts. Meanwhile, the administration seeking to calm things with Britain after a dust-up following the Manchester terror bombing.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson broke from the president's foreign trip to meet with British Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson in London and to sign a book of condolences to the victims of the Manchester attack. Tillerson also says the U.S. takes full responsibility for leaking information to the press regarding the Manchester investigation.
Fox's Rich Edson. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer. Listen on iHeartRadio.
What if you could have an experience of a lifetime, and I mean it, a lifetime this year? Dennis Prager here, and a timely and important expedition to the land of Israel awaits you. Make plans now for the Stand with Israel tour happening this fall. Join me on a 9-day trip to Israel that offers you firsthand insight into Israel's unique past and probably unique future. We'll introduce you to the geopolitical, economic, and security dynamics of a truly remarkable nation. Get a behind-the-scenes view into many of the places you've read and heard about, all during United Jerusalem's 50th anniversary. The Western Wall, Jerusalem, the Dead Sea, Golan Heights, and much more. With expert guides and important lectures at key sites, all in the comfort and safety of first-class accommodations.
Look forward to something special this year. Stand with Israel. For details about all-inclusive trip happening this fall, visit 660amtheanswer.com for all the details.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. It has long been my pleasure to sing the praises of the Good Feet stores, America's #1 arch support experts, helping people walk better, feel better, work better, be happier, because they're out of foot pain. And those locations in Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake are familiar to you. But open now in Waco. Right in front of Cabela's off Loop 340, it's Good Feet's Waco location. So everybody within any kind of distance of a Good Feet location has instant access to people who are going to help your feet feel better, get you out of pain today so you can walk, work, travel, live the way you want, free of foot pain. It can often radiate upwards to leg pain, hip pain, back pain. Learn more at the goodfeetdfw.com website, goodfeetdfw.com, and then get on in there for the inserts that'll help you walk and work and travel and live life happily. Plano, Fort Worth, Southlake, and now in Waco, the Good Feet stores, goodfeetdfw.com, goodfeetdfw.com.
Whether you own or rent, you know there's nothing quite like a fresh coat of paint to make your home look and feel new again. Chances are one of the rooms in your home could use some fresh paint. Whether it's a full interior or exterior repaint, a creative mural, or just a fun accent wall, getting your home or business painted can be difficult and expensive. From searching for a qualified professional to choosing colors to negotiating a price. Not anymore. At paintzen.com, we make painting fast, simple, and affordable. Quotes are free and there's never any extra fees or surprises. Just go to paintzen.com, use code FRESH, and see how easy it is to choose from thousands of high-quality Benjamin Moore paint colors and price out any size job from one room to an entire house. Just go to paintzen.com and take the pain out of painting. That's paintzen.com, code FRESH, and get a fast, free, no-hassle quote. Visit paintzen.com and use code FRESH to get a free quote for any home painting project. Go to paintzen.com now. Use code FRESH. paintzen.com, code FRESH.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friends at Simple Sleep Services. If snoring is a problem in your life, and if it's a problem in your life, it's a problem for everybody in your life. Let's get the simplest, least invasive solution. That's what they did for me at Simple Sleep Services. What you have with Simple Sleep is a way to avoid implants and surgery and the CPAP device by just calling 469-685-1700. 469-685-1700. They're in Dallas and Fort Worth. Insurance covers most folks. It's the Somnodent device. Simple appliance. They make it for you. They did one for me. You take it home, you pop it in, kiss your wife goodnight, and silent night. Absolutely fantastic. Diagnosis from a board-certified sleep physician. They have a home sleep study, so you're not in some lab. Call them for more information. 469-685-1700. 469-685-1700. SimpleSleepServices.com. Wonderful people. I'm so glad I met them, and you will be too. 469-685-1700 or SimpleSleepServices.com.
Have you ever thought you'd like to flip houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? Are you ready to be your own boss so you can start living the good life? Hi, I'm Preston Ely. I used to be so broke. I had my electricity turned off 9 times, but I figured out a way to quit my job and find financial freedom in real estate. For a limited time, I want to send you a free copy of my smash hit selling book, How to Get Rich in Real Estate. It shows you how to copy exactly what I did so you can make money from the comfort of your own home without even doing any manual labor. I've already given away 5,000 books and they're going fast. To get one before they're gone, call 1-800-400-5220. Listen, if you're sick and tired of stressing about money, this book could change your life. It's short, fun to read, easy to understand, and awesome. To find out how to get your free book while supplies last, call 1-800-400-5220. Call 1-800-400-5220. 1-800-400-5220.
With the stock market near all-time highs, this is no time to assume it will only go up. The 2008 bear market wiped out 12 years of gains in just 17 months. The time to include a protective strategy in your plan is now.
This is Ken Moraif, host of the Money Matters radio show, inviting you to our free seminar.
Choose 1 p.m. Saturday, June 3rd, Rockwall, 7 p.m. Tuesday, June 6th, Fort Worth Medical District, Wednesday, June 7th in Plano. Reserve now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net or call 800-994-0302.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. It is Memorial Day. We honor those who have served our nation and have passed on. James Shively is one of those. The person who wrote about his life and his 6 years in the Hanoi Hilton joins us. She is the stepdaughter of James Shively. She is Amy Shively Hawk. Amy, welcome to the Wells Report. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Amy Shively, this is an act of love about you and your stepfather and about the horrors that he faced in a little place called the Hanoi Hilton.
That's right. It absolutely is about him and his 6 years that he spent in the Hanoi Hilton in North Vietnam.
Talk to us a little bit about the story of you coming together with your father, because you were not with him when he was undergoing this ordeal, correct?
That's right. No, I wasn't born yet. I met him when I was 5 years old. He was already returned from the war and married my mom, who was his high school sweetheart. And, growing up in his house, I didn't know, of course, everything that had happened to him. I knew he was a fighter pilot. I knew that he had been a prisoner of war. But it wasn't until after he died, when I was an adult, that a reporter gave me some tapes that my dad had made detailing his experience and the horrors that he experienced in the prison camp.
So, Amy, he didn't spend time talking to you about this. He didn't spend a lot of time dwelling on his past.
No, he sure didn't. He was not one to, talk a lot about the war or his experiences unless he was with his buddies. He had some war buddies. They would get together. Some fellow POWs would get together maybe once a year or so and talk about that experiences. But alone with us, he was very private, and I think he was very guarded and wanted to protect us as well.
Oh, goodness gracious. I can't imagine living with that. I can't imagine, first of all, the abhorrent treatment that he underwent. I can't believe that. I mean, that's just, I was reading through your book, and then I got to some of the things that he endured, and I can't see myself having the guts to be able to go through that.
It's very shocking. Of course, when I heard the tapes, I was shocked. It was a very emotional experience for me to listen to his voice retelling these stories. And, the treatment that he suffered and that the men suffered over there in captivity was just inhumane. It was just brutal and shocking. And I just really, as I listened, I just knew in my spirit that people needed to know and that this was a story that needed to be told.
Let's tell some of it. So he was a fighter pilot during Vietnam. He was shot down. Give us some of the background on what he was flying, where he was flying, and so on and so on.
Sure. Well, he had gone to the United States Air Force Academy, not thinking that he was going to become a fighter pilot at all. He was just a very brilliant man. He wanted a good education, and he got one, and he also at the same time acquired a master's degree in international relations from Georgetown University. But it was expected after he graduated that he would at least try the training. And so he went to pilot training and discovered that actually he absolutely loved everything about it. He was exhilarated by it. He loved the ins and outs of it, the engineering of it, and it just became his life's passion. So he pursued it. He went to combat training at Nellis, and from there the Air Force sent him over to Southeast Asia in 1966. He would have been 24 years old.
Wow. And he was flying F-4s?
He was flying an F-105.
Oh, wow.
Which, yeah, there were very few assignments for that because it was a single-seater aircraft, very large, the biggest of its time. And that just shows you, too, what an awesome fighter pilot he was to get that assignment. He loved his plane.
Yeah, the pilots who flew them just love those great big things. You stand next to one and it doesn't make any difference. You're just simply dwarfed by the size of that. It was hard to believe that it was actually a fighter.
Yes. And it was, as I listened to him on the tape, he just loved that machine. He just loved the mechanics of it. It was almost became, well, he spent so much time with it. It became kind of an extension of himself. And he just absolutely loved flying. Of course, he was only 24 years old, so he didn't think that anything bad would ever happen to him because he was just fearless and he was an elite pilot. But he was shot down in 1967 on his 69th mission.
So he gets out of the aircraft. He ejected, from what I understand, and he landed and he was badly injured, was he not?
He was injured upon bailout. And what had happened is that he was flying very low, government orders to fly very low over North Hanoi. and he was hit by a surface-to-air missile that blew off the back of his plane. So he was forced to parachute out. He was injured as he did, and he landed in a rice paddy. The force of the fall landed him so hard that he was up to his waist in the mud and the muck. And so with the weight of his pack and his gear and everything, it was almost impossible for him to get out and to escape before they captured him.
He had injuries to his arms. From what I understand, he was bleeding profusely.
Yes, that was the other problem. He was bleeding profusely, and there was nowhere to hide and really nowhere to run before they were able to capture him. They saw him fall from the plane too.
When he was captured, what was the experience like? I mean, was he badly beaten? That happened to a lot of pilots that were shot down.
He was very badly. Well, first they stripped him, and then they beat him. They wanted to make a spectacle of the air pirate, is what they called him, that they had captured, and so they beat him pretty severely. The North Vietnamese army came and put him in the back of a truck and took him up to Hanoi, where he was thrown into the infamous prison camp, the Hanoi Hilton. And there he was tortured and starved. And really, it's a miracle that he made it out alive.
No one who has ever heard about the Hanoi Hilton, certainly no one who has ever had to live in the Hanoi Hilton, would ever be the same after that experience. In other words, the things that I've learned about the Hanoi Hilton it just gives me such, I'm at a loss to understand the incredible depravity shown to our prisoners of war by the authorities and by the North Vietnamese army. It's just incredible.
Yes, it is pretty mind-boggling, and it also gives the reader a sense, though, of why when the men came back, they didn't always want to talk about their experiences. I've had a lot of families that have read the book, thank me for just giving them the information, because it gives them a better understanding of, why their vet held on to this information and didn't want to recount and didn't really want to share.
Amy Shiley is our guest. She has written the book 6 Years in the Hanoi Hilton, an extraordinary story of courage and survival in Vietnam. You have a BA in communications from Eastern Washington University, correct?
Yes, I sure do.
And a minor in broadcast journalism.
That's right, a minor in broadcast journalism, and I was able to put that to good use in my research for this book.
Is this your first book? Is this your first attempt at literary stardom?
I have actually written 2 books that I published myself on Amazon, 2 Christian books. But this book was laid on my heart, and as I got into it, I realized that it was just a much bigger book that would require a publisher. There was just so much interest. And then, of course, John McCain came on board. He was very gracious to write the foreword for me. And so it just kind of grew and grew until it got published, and now it's available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.
So we left off the story where Captain James Shively was in the Hanoi Hilton, and he was thrown into what he called the dungeon. Describe that for us.
Well, the dungeon was just horrible. It was rat infested, and it was also the rainy season there. The rain would just come in and mildew the floor and the prisoners' clothes, and so they could never get completely clean or dry. And then they were just stepping in rat droppings and living with rats all the time. And so obviously this was very unsanitary. And my dad developed an infection under his skin. The men all had parasites, and most of them had dysentery. Many of them contracted hepatitis. It was just horrible. It was just the worst that you can imagine. And then with the horrible food that they were giving them, which was not, frequent enough, it was just he was almost starved to death, almost died on several occasions, had multiple infections that went untreated. And so the whole thing was just barbaric.
That was just incredible. Just absolutely incredible. When you heard him describe this on these tapes, were you able to discern the stress in his voice, or what was his composure like as he described all this?
Well, the thing about my dad and what really made him so special was that his attitude about life was just, he was so grateful for every day. And when he looked back on his war experiences, he had already made a determination in his spirit not to be bitter or unforgiving. And so what I found on the tapes is that he would share things just very matter-of-factly, almost as if they happened to somebody else. And sometimes he would even laugh after he shared a really difficult story. And I think that was just his way of dealing with it. But he just was a very humble and gracious man. He felt that he was lucky to be alive, and so he just received every day as a gift.
What kept him going?
Well, when he was over there, actually those first 6 months when he was in solitary and being tortured and starved every day, and he was of course bound in iron bolts, couldn't move, forced to relieve himself on the concrete that he was lying on. He did say in the tapes that he wished that he had gone down with his plane, or that he could take his own life, because he didn't see how life was worth living at that point. But somewhere along the way, he made contact with another prisoner. Another prisoner was able to whisper something to him through the cell door when he was coming to pick up my dad's food dish. And for some reason, just knowing that there was another American in the camp gave him strength. And he just all of a sudden became resilient. He remembered that he was a fighter pilot. He remembered that he was fighting for America, a great country. And his spirit just kind of rose up in him. And I tell the story of how he just became absolutely determined that he wasn't going to die, that he was going to get out, and that he was going to go on and lead his life.
Amy Shively is our guest. She's written the book 6 Years in the Hanoi Hilton, an extraordinary story of courage and survival in Vietnam. It is an incredible book. You really do need to read this, because you cannot and will not believe, you will not be able to fathom the depravity and the horrendous conditions that Captain James Shively had to live through. The foreword is written by Senator John McCain, who also spent time in the Hanoi Hilton. We'll be back with more with Amy Shively, as suddenly these men who have been so badly treated and so terribly starved and tortured and beaten finally find out that they get to go home. That's next as we continue on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Consult your tax professional before investing. Let me ask you a question. Can you keep your 401k or IRA safe from the death of the dollar, continued rampant Fed spending, political corruption, and from the possible new Cold War with Russia? If you answered no, then listen up. Fortunes are going to be made and lost over the next few months. It's time you took action. Over 50,000 people have requested our Gold IRA investment guide to learn how to protect their retirement savings. Now it's your turn. We are Advantage Gold, the #1 rated gold IRA company in America by TrustLink. Right now, we are giving away a free copy of our new Gold IRA Protection Guide to anyone with an IRA, 401k, or retirement account that is over the age of 55. Just call 1-800-900-8000 right now, and we will help teach you how to keep your retirement savings away from the government and safe in your pocket. Just call today at 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Representatives are standing by. Call 800-900-8000 today.
Just look at them, having a great time. To think 6 weeks ago, I was just installed. All it took was one last spilled drink on their old dingy carpet, and they had enough of him. Thank goodness. They got the professionals at Adair's Fine Floors in here, and just look at me. I'm gorgeous. I'm not just your average wood floor. I take crazy traffic like a pro, and it's all because my homeowners called Adair's Fine Floors. Susan and Richard Adair came in, talked to the family, figured out what their needs were, and helped them find the perfect floor to fit their lifestyle. Adair's Fine Floors has a large selection with free sample checkouts, and they chose me. That's not all. Just look around. The coordinating accessories suggested by Adair's Floors. That rug over there? Yep, Adair's Floors. They offer free design and decorating assistance too, giving the home just the right look. Visit adairsfloors.com to get your home started on the right look for you. That's adairsfloors.com.
Fitness HQ and Busybody Store.
Gary, you know that there are people out there who have that old piece of exercise equipment they're just not using.
I know you're 100% right, Craig. So let's do something to get our customers into our Busybody and Fitness HQ stores and re-inspire them to work out again.
What were you thinking?
How about we offer all of our customers double the trade-in value on their old equipment towards the purchase of a new piece of equipment?
Wow, that's amazing. Double the value on trades. And on top of that, now through Memorial Day, let's offer up to 18 months of interest-free financing and free delivery and installation.
Plus, all brands like Precor, Octane, True, Horizon, Life Fitness, Nordic Track, and Cybex are on sale up to $1,200 off.
And to top it all off, our Busybody and Fitness HQ stores can even get your sales tax back. Now there are no excuses to get back in shape for the summer.
Fitness HQ and Busybody Store.
Hey, if you need to sell your home without all the headaches most people experience, hey, Sean Hannity here to tell you that after years of buying, selling, investing millions of dollars in real estate, that all real estate agents do not operate the same way. Now, what makes the difference between a home selling fast and for top dollar and one that sits on the market for months and doesn't even sell at all? Well, you have a great American right in your backyard that I trust if I needed to sell my home. I'm talking about Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. Now, he services the entire Dallas area, attracts hundreds of buyers every week. He sells a home on average every 20 hours. Now, Josh spends thousands of dollars every month and creates demand for your home, which makes it sell faster and for more money. Now, you risk nothing since at any point, if you're not happy, well, you can get out of the contract free and clear and pay nothing. But trust me, that's not going to happen. Don't play games with your home. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644. That's 972-325-6644 or online, getsold.net. That's getsold.net. And you can start packing.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer. We are joined by Amy Shively Hawk, by the way, in case you're wondering. Amy Shively, of course, her name. Her father was Captain James Shively. Amy Shively is his stepdaughter, and she wrote this book, and her name is Amy Shively Hawk, in case you were looking her up. And we will have more about that on how you can get in touch with this amazing woman who wrote an amazing story about an amazing father shot down and spend time in the Hanoi Hilton. Amy, talk to us about him finding out he was going home.
Okay, sure. Well, of course, that was a glorious day. It had been 6 long years, and he had been hanging on to the hope that he would see my mom again. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is that he and my mom had dated in high school, and they had dated while my dad was at the Air Force Academy. But when he decided to go overseas, when he was shipped overseas and shot down and gone for so long and held captive, my mom didn't know if he would ever make it back to her. And she eventually got married to my biological dad and had me and my little sister. But then when the war ended and Jim came home, they ended up getting married and getting back together. So he became my stepdad at the age of 5, and I was very fortunate to grow up in his home. He was just like a father to me. But I'm pretty sure that on that day that the peace treaty was read to the prisoners, my mom was on his mind, and that's who he was thinking about getting back to.
That had to be just an amazing moment for him as he suddenly realized that he might just make it out of here after all.
That's right. And, they had so many ups and downs because there had been air raids. They had seen the American B-52s. America had been present doing air raids there, which would always get them very hopeful that the war was ending soon. But, you know, after 6 years of that off and on, you start to wonder, really, is this war ever going to end? So it truly was a dream come true to find out that the peace treaty had been signed and that they were going to be sent home.
And then you got together, and how did that work out? I mean, from the standpoint of they were reunited, where did that happen, and how did that go?
Well, my dad flew back home to Spokane, and of course he was in the hospital for treatment, I think for about a month. And he got in contact actually with my mom's sister and found out that my mom, you know, had gotten married, but her marriage was on the rocks. And they got back together almost right away after he returned home. So it was always meant to be for them. They had 2 more daughters together, so they raised a total of 4 daughters under their roof. And my dad used to joke that when he was in prison, you know, all he saw was men for 6 years. And he used to say, when I get out of here, I'm going to surround myself with beautiful women. And so they laughed. They laughed that they had 4 daughters and that his prophecy came true.
Indeed. Amy Shively-Hawk joining us on the Wells Report here on 660 AM The Answer. 6 years in the Hanoi Hilton, an extraordinary story of courage and survival in Vietnam on this Memorial Day. Amy, thanks very much for joining us. If people want to find out more about you or find out more about the book, where do they go and what do they do?
They can go to amyhawk.com, or they can look up the book on Barnes & Noble or Amazon.com, 6 years in the Hanoi Hilton.
Thank you so much for telling us this incredible story, Amy. We sincerely appreciate it. Look forward to your next project.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. John David, thank you.
You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
Attention homeowners, do you or someone you know have a house you'd like to sell? Hello, I'm Dan Franklin. I've been buying and selling real estate right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for over 20 years, and my process is simple. I'll pay you cash, and I'll pay you more. Just listen to what other people are saying after they called me to buy their house.
My name is Brent Patterson. Dan Franklin gave us $30,000 more for our house. Definitely call Dan if you want more money for your house.
I'm Bill Mays. I made an extra $18,000 working with Dan.
My name is Brenda Griffin. Dan Franklin gave us over $15,000 more for our house. Definitely call Dan.
Okay, now it's your turn. Would you like a higher cash offer? I'm Dan Franklin. I'll pay you cash and I'll pay you more. Call me today at 214-929-5555. That's 214-929-5555.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business. So make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-827-5948 now. That's 800-827-5948 for your free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-827-5948 to learn more. 800-827-5948. That's 800-827-5948. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-600-8199. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-600-8199. That's 1-800-600-8199. 1-800-600-8199.
It's time to honor our veterans with the Patriot Mobile Veteran of the Month. 660 AM The Answer joins with Patriot Mobile to spotlight a veteran each month. If you know a veteran who deserves such an honor, then go to 660amtheanswer.com and nominate them to be Patriot Mobile Veteran of the Month. Winners will receive a Crossroads Diner gift certificate and an award from Patriot Mobile. Plus, they'll have an opportunity to come to the studios to meet Mark Davis and John David Wells. Go to 660amtheanswer.com to nominate your veteran. That's the Patriot Mobile Veteran of the Month.
Have you ever considered joining the military but stopped because you couldn't deploy to a foreign country? Believe it or not, the state of Texas has its own military force that stands alongside the Texas National Guard, the Texas Air National Guard, and serves only inside the state of Texas. It's called the Texas State Guard. I'm Tech Sergeant John Wells of the 4th Air Wing, and we're looking for you to join us. Give us a call at 877-398-8350. That's 877-398-8350. If you love Texas as much as we do, join the 4th Air Wing of the Texas State Guard.
Up to 50% off hot deals with the Dell Memorial Day sale? Are you kidding me? That's huge. Dell has all the technology you need with an amazing selection, including the latest Dell PCs with Intel Core processors and gorgeous Samsung TVs. You can get a Google Home and Nest bundle, booming Bose audio, and so much more. Shop big Memorial Day deals by visiting Dell.com/Memorial Day. You could save up to 50% on select products by calling 800-BUY-DELL.
When you're hiring for a growing business, you don't need lots of candidates. You need the right candidates. You need Indeed.com. With an algorithm that positions your job post where quality candidates are and screener questions that help you zero in on the best talent. Indeed.com, the site proven through an independent study to deliver 5 times more hires than any other. New users claim your $50 credit for a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. Now, more of the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. Perhaps one of the most intelligent human beings to walk the face of the earth is going to be joining us after the top of the hour.
Thank you.
And then we'll hear from someone else. Matt Swinney said, "Why, thank you. You're going to give me some time on the air." And yeah. I was actually talking about Dr. Everett Piper, who's going to be joining us.
It's the same thing. I'm as smart as he is.
I'm sure you are. Yeah. That's Magic Matt Swinney, who is saying that he's as smart as Dr. Everett Piper.
Yeah, right. I wish I was.
It was like, I remember the first time I talked to him. Didn't I tell you guys? It was like just sort of sitting there. It's like how my dog used to feel when I was playing Beethoven on the piano. I'm sitting there going, the dog's going, "It's really pretty. It's really pretty." I'm listening to Dr. Everett Piper going, "God, that's brilliant. I don't know what it means, but it's totally brilliant." No, I actually do know what it means, and it's something that you need to hear, especially if, say, for example, your kid is graduating from high school like mine is tomorrow. At some point,
congratulations.
At some point, thank you. It's not for me. He did all the work. I just sat and watched. He is going to continue his education, or his mother will kill him. He is going to continue his education, and
Oklahoma Wesleyan?
I don't know. I sure would like to take him. He wants to be a physicist. But that's because he enjoys physics. Isn't that cool? I am the father of a son who looks at you and go, "Gosh, I love physics." And I go, "I'm way behind the curve. Way behind." Anyway, and I said, "So you don't want to be an engineer? You don't want to be an aerospace engineer?" He goes, "No, I want to do that too." Oh, okay. Kid's got a brain, man. So we'll see what happens. Let me get to Jim in Ennis, Texas. Jim, thanks very much for joining us. I appreciate you calling back because we had to get that interview in, and I wanted to make sure that we heard about your dad.
That was really a good interview. I would like to remember my dad tonight. My dad had a real interesting service career. He started out first, he was a three-service man. He started out in the horse cavalry at Fort Riley, Kansas.
Wow.
And got a fairly early discharge because they were kind of dissolving the cavalry. So he joined the Merchant Marine shortly thereafter, and he had to serve out his time in the Merchant Marine when World War II broke out. And just as soon as he could get his discharge from a Merchant Marine, he joined the United States Navy. And he worked aboard a minesweeper during World War II, and was in the Pacific Theater through that. Well, at the end there of World War II, he was still on that minesweeper, and he was one of the men aboard that helped clear the mines out of Tokyo Bay for the peace talks at the end of the war.
Unbelievable.
So he had quite a career.
Boy, he sure did. He absolutely did. Man, oh man. Cleared the mines out of Tokyo Bay so they could sign the peace treaty.
Yes.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Man, thanks very much for telling me that story. Thank you for sharing the memory of your dad.
You're welcome. Thank you, John David.
God bless you, Jim. Man, that's a good one. Yeah. It's truly amazing who fought in these wars. You know, my dad fought in Korea. If you look up the USS Hollister, it was so funny. I remember hearing stories from Dad that I would end up looking up in various publications having to do with the USS Hollister. And that ship finally ended its career as a fast frigate in the Taiwan Navy. But Dad was a cold warrior most of his life when I was with him. And as it is in almost every war endeavor, including the Cold War, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people who you've never heard of. People that have done the most amazing things. Some of them quite literally directly involved in the victories that we have seen and that we have enjoyed on the way to this country today. You know, it was truly amazing when you know you find these stories. You ask for these stories. You ask for people to call you on the phone on Memorial Day and Veterans Day and tell these stories. And it's truly amazing, and it gives you an idea of just how gifted this country is. How gifted we are that we have such amazing people working every single day to make this country a better place. It's truly great. Take a look at today's news. We've got some, that it was a pretty serious day today as we discovered that the Washington Post discovered that Jared Kushner wanted to set up something that had been in place since 1963. So funny. Yeah, have you noticed how much coverage that story has not gotten as the evening has progressed? Earlier this afternoon, this Jared Kushner thing was talked about as a bombshell. A bombshell. So much for the bombshell. Kind of just disappeared as everybody suddenly realized, what? The USA Moscow hotline? Boy, if we'd have only thought of that in 1963. Oh, wait, we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah. After that wacky Cuban Missile Crisis. Yeah. Jesus. Well, Did you ever wonder why it was that James Comey suddenly decided to call a press conference and start explaining the case of Hillary Clinton? This is coming out of CNN. So you don't know whether it's real or not, but let's pretend that it's real-ish. Then FBI Director James Comey knew that a critical piece of information relating to the investigation into the Hillary Clinton email scandal was fake. James Comey knew that a critical piece of information relating to the investigation into Hillary Clinton's email was fake. This particular piece of information was disinformation created by Russian intelligence. So there you are, you're James Comey, you've got this piece of information, you suspect that it's disinformation. Of course, in the news account of it, you knew that it was fake. Okay. Anyway, this piece of disinformation related to Russian intelligence was the source of fear that if it became public, it would undermine the probe of Hillary Clinton's email server and the Justice Department itself, according to multiple officials with knowledge of the process. Again, they're nobody with names. These are just people. These are just android, bureaucrats with no names. Went through a bureaucrat that had simply no names. As a result, this is now after this predicate, there's a piece of disinformation created by Russian intelligence. James Comey knows it's fake, but it would cast aspersions on the probe of Hillary Clinton's email server and the Justice Department. Therefore, James Comey must act. Must have been a hell of a piece of information. He acted unilaterally last summer to publicly declare that the Hillary Clinton email server investigation was over, without consulting then Attorney General Loretta Lynch. During that press conference, he said that Clinton had been extremely careless in her handling of classified information. His press conference caused a firestorm of controversy, drew criticism from both Democrats and Republicans. Comey's actions, based on what he knew was Russian disinformation, offer a stark example of the way Russian interference impacted the decisions of the highest level U.S. officials during the 2016 campaign. Let me explain what that means. A piece of Russian disinformation that you never heard of until now caused James Comey, because he thought it might become public and therefore cast aspersions on his email server scandal investigation and the Justice Department himself. That piece of disinformation was enough to get him to essentially commit career suicide. Show up, have an interview or have a press conference, talk about an active investigation, and then closing it before the Russians could release this damaging disinformation. Comey's actions based on what he knew was Russian disinformation. How does he know? How did he know it was Russian disinformation? That's an important point, because if it wasn't Russian disinformation and he was feared that it was going to cast aspersions on his investigation into Hillary Clinton's email server and indeed cast aspersions on the DOJ itself, that would make what he did a, wait for it, cover up. Did that make sense? Did you follow that, Vicky? Okay. Then CNN says Comey's actions based on what he knew was Russian disinformation offer a stark example of the way Russian interference impacted the decisions of the highest level U.S. officials during the 2016 campaign. As if a piece of Russian disinformation that you never heard of could dramatically infect the thought process of American officials during the 2016 campaign. This is poppycock. The Washington Post reported yesterday this Russian intelligence was unreliable. U.S. officials now tell CNN that Comey and the FBI actually knew early on that the intelligence was indeed false. Do you know anything about it yet? I'm halfway through the first page, and they haven't told you anything about the disinformation. But they are still giving you this explanation as to why they knew it was fake and false. Yeah. We're not going to tell you about it right now, but we're going to tell you that this was fake and false. We're going to build this case so that you are so prejudiced into believing that it's fake and false. When we finally tell you what the piece of information is, you'll realize that it's fake and false like the rest of us. Here's another paragraph. In fact, acting FBI Director Andrew McCabe went to Capitol Hill to push back on the notion the FBI was duped. This according to a source familiar with a meeting McCabe had with members of the Senate Intelligence Committee. Well, if he was duped, if he spoke about if he actually made decisions based on a piece of Russian disinformation that wasn't true, but he was afraid would cast aspersions on his investigation of Hillary Clinton's email server and the DOJ, somebody was duped. Let's see. When someone is duped, the person who does something destructive, which benefits someone else, say, for example, a presidential candidate during a campaign right before Election Day, wouldn't that person be duped? You know, I believe that James Comey is a real nut job. How about you? This is the Wells Report.
The sale of the century is going on right now at the 3 Huffines auto dealerships in Plano. This is truly a once-in-a-lifetime auto buying opportunity at Huffines Chevrolet, Huffines Hyundai, and Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Plano. As you know, Plano was hammered by the recent hailstorms, and with the insurance adjustments, Huffines can save you like never before. Save 40% off MSRP on new Huffines Chevy Silverados, 40% off MSRP on new Huffines Ram pickups, and 40% off MSRP on new Huffines Hyundai Elantras. Plus, all come with a full mechanical factory warranty. So pay less in Plano when you save 40% on select models at Huffines Chevrolet Plano and Huffines Hyundai Plano at Coit Road and Plano Parkway, and Huffines Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Plano at Ohio and Plano Parkway, or online at huffines.net.
Example stock number 7C1443, MSRP $46,720. 40% hail discount includes rebates $18,688. Sale price $28,032. Price excludes tax and fees. MSRP will vary with stock number. Offer is stock number specific. 212 available with this hail discount. See huffines.net for more info.
Amazing to realize, but you know, it's been almost 2 years I've been talking with you about Relief Factor, and I can tell you I've been continually inundated with testimonials. This is Michael Medved, and I've received thousands of testimonials that come in telling me how excited people are to be out of pain, like Bob from Ohio, who writes, I had a herniated disc in my back in 1984. I started taking Relief Factor, and for the first time, I have been completely out of constant, sometimes excruciating pain. I'm now able to work in the yard, around the house, and do my job in comfort. This is a great product. That's the end of the quote. If you're struggling with ongoing back or neck pain, shoulder, hip, or knee pain, or general muscle pain, aches, pains of any kind, do what tens of thousands of others have done so successfully. Go to ReliefFactor.com and order their 3-week quick start for just $19.95. 1-800-500-8384. That's 1-800-500-8384.
Warning, if you've recently declared bankruptcy, you're going to want to cover your ears, because there's an alternative to bankruptcy, and it could be better than you'd ever think possible. But if you've already declared bankruptcy and have missed this opportunity, you'll want to cover your ears now. Here it is. Right now, the company that has resolved more credit card debt than anyone in the U.S. may be able to settle your debt too. You can resolve your debt with one low monthly program payment. If you call right now and qualify, Freedom Debt Relief will show you how low your monthly program payment could be for free. Call now. 1-800-600-2147. That's 1-800-600-2147. If you're struggling with debt, this could be your answer. And the bigger your debt, the more money you could save. To find out for free how much of your hard-earned money Freedom Debt Relief could help you save, call now. 1-800-600-2147. 1-800-600-2147. 1-800-600-2147.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. I went from being able to work 14, 16 hours a day with no problem to where I could barely walk a block to the store. I went on to the phytonutrients about 6 months ago, and within a couple of months, my medical doctor had cut my prescriptions down in a little bit smaller dosage. The next time I went back a month later, I walked into the doctor's office and he said, "My gosh, what's happened to you? You don't even look like the same person." He looked at my legs and the swelling had gone down. My blood pressure was down. The venous stasis ulcers that I had had on my legs for the last 4 or 5 years because of the poor circulation were all healed, and I'm feeling far better.
The new challenge will allow you to receive 2 months of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies free, and we'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code 660AM.
Once again, there is a lot of uncertainty and volatility in the stock market, so it's more important than ever that you have a protective strategy as part of your plan.
This is Ken Moraif, host of the Money Matters radio show, inviting you to our free seminar.
Choose 1 p.m. Saturday, June 3rd, Rockwall, 7 p.m. Tuesday, June 6th, Fort Worth Medical District, 1 p.m. or 7 p.m. Wednesday, June 7th in Plano. Don't wait until it's too late. Seating is limited. Reserve now at moneymatters.net. That's moneymatters.net. Or call 800-994-0302.
Sean Hannity here for my friends at Generator Supercenter, the great American story. Now, this started in 2005 with two brothers selling and repairing generators out of their garage in Texas. Today, they are the #1 Generac dealer in the nation. #1 means more savings for you. When the power goes down, keep your home or business up and running with a Generac standby power system from the Generator Supercenter. Financing available, payments as low as $100 a month. GeneratorSupercenter.com. That's GeneratorSupercenter.com.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. By the way, this Russian intelligence purported to show that then Attorney General Loretta Lynch had been compromised in the Clinton investigation. The intelligence described emails between then Democrat National Committee Chair Deborah Wasserman Schultz and a political operative suggesting that Lynch would make the FBI investigation of Clinton just go away. In classified sessions with members of Congress several months ago, Comey described those emails and the Russian claim and expressed his concern that this Russian information could drop and that would undermine the Clinton investigation and the Justice Department in general. Still, Comey did not let on to the lawmakers there were doubts about the veracity of the intelligence, waiting until CNN could report it to try to explain this balled-up mess that I'm reading to you about. It's unclear as to why Comey did not tell them that he didn't believe that this intelligence was indeed correct in a classified setting. Maybe it's because he didn't know that it was disinformation. In other words, maybe it is a cover-up. Maybe this whole thing is just a cover-up and CNN is just trying to slip this in so that somebody could, well, they'll draw their own conclusions that it was indeed just a little disinformation. I see right through this. Yeah, this is a cover-up, and guess who's handling the cover-up? CNN. Brian in Forney, I'm sorry I used up a bunch of your time, but I had to get that out. Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
Hi, Brian. How are you?
Good.
So tell me about your grandfather quickly.
He was in the 101st Airborne, And Ralph Kaufman.
Yep.
He was a real good man.
I'm sure he was.
My dad told me.
Yeah.
And he fought in Korea and World War II. And he fought in Germany and Korea. And it was crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much for sharing the story of your grandfather on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Need a new CPAP? Then we need you. We're CPAP.com, and we recently overstocked the world's best CPAP machines. Top-of-the-line devices from brands like ResMed and Philips Respironics. Call now and get one of these overstocked CPAPs for a fraction of the price. We'll even give you free next-day air shipping. Call 1-800-900-6135. The best part? No insurance needed. We're giving out these CPAPs at prices so low, they'll cost less than your copay and deductible through insurance. CPAP.com has shipped over 1 million orders and has the world's largest selection of CPAPs and accessories. With no retail overhead or costly middlemen, we're the best way to get comfortable, effective sleep apnea equipment at incredibly low prices. Again, CPAP.com has overstocked premium CPAPs. Call now to get a ResMed or Philips Respironics machine for a fraction of the price with free next-day air shipping. Call 1-800-900-6135. Hurry. When these overstocked CPAPs are gone, they're really gone. That's 1-800-900-6135.
Have you ever thought you'd like to flip houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? Are you ready to be your own boss so you can start living the good life? Hi, I'm Preston Ely. I used to be so broke. I had my electricity turned off 9 times, but I figured out a way to quit my job and find financial freedom in real estate. For a limited time, I want to send you a free copy of my smash hit selling book, How to Get Rich in Real Estate. It shows you how to copy exactly what I did so you can make money from the comfort of your own home without even doing any manual labor. I've already given away 5,000 books and they're going fast. To get one before they're gone, call 1-800-400-5220. Listen, if you're sick and tired of stressing about money, this book could change your life. It's short, fun to read, easy to understand, and awesome. To find out how to get your free book while supplies last, call 1-800-400-5220. Call 1-800-400-5220. 1-800-400-5220.
Our sister station, 94.9 KLTY's Celebrate Freedom 27 from Interstate Batteries.
A day of fun for your family with Crowder, Matthew West, Britt Nicole, Holland, and more.
Saturday, June 24th at South Fork Ranch. Get your official Celebrate Freedom 27 t-shirts, memorabilia, VIP experiences, and more at CelebrateFreedom.com.
Sponsored by Interstate Batteries, Care Now, Splash Kingdom, Cornerstone Staffing, North Texas Chevy Dealers, and 94.9 KLTY.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Baltimore Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carmen Roberts. Zbigniew Brzezinski dies. He served as national security advisor to President Carter in the late 70s, helping him deal with the Iran hostage crisis and other world conflicts. Brzezinski, the hawk to President Carter's dove, died today in Falls Church, Virginia at 89. President Trump's in Sicily meeting with other world leaders at the G7 summit and dealing with more fallout from his time at the NATO summit in Brussels.
According to German media, in a meeting of EU leaders, President Trump said the Germans were bad, really bad. This morning, his chief economic advisor, Gary Cohn, moved to clean up the incident, insisting the president was talking about German trade practices, not Germany itself. Then later today said, well, the whole thing never happened.
Fox's John Roberts, the G7 leaders agreeing on fighting terrorism, but not on fighting climate change. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Stimulating talk, 660 AM, The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis with my friends at Walker Air Conditioning and Heating, and welcome to spring in Texas, where we run our AC every day, which means this news is great from Trane and Walker AC. If you purchase a new Trane qualifying system, you can get a trade allowance of $1,000 or choose 0% financing for 60 months with the Wells Fargo Home Projects credit card. See Walker AC and Heating for details 888-653-0051 for finance details about credit costs and terms. Regular APR $28.99 for newly opened accounts. APR may vary, subject to credit approval. Offer expires 5/31/2017. So spring is here, and that means it's already hot. Could be the best time to have Walker AC and Heating inspect your system to keep it running at peak performance. If your system just needs repair, that's what they'll do. If it's time for a new system from Trane, that's what they'll do. Give them a call. I trust them. I love them. It's my AC company. 972-4-WALKER. 972, the number 4-WALKER, or WalkerAC.com. Walker Air Conditioning and Heating and Trane, because it's hard to stop a train.
Attention homeowners. Do you or someone you know have a house you'd like to sell? Hello, I'm Dan Franklin. I've been buying and selling real estate right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for over 20 years, and my process is simple. I'll pay you cash, and I'll pay you more. Just listen to what other people are saying after they called me to buy their house.
My name is Brent Patterson. Dan Franklin gave us $30,000 more for our house. Definitely call Dan if you want more money for your house.
I'm Bill Mays. I made an extra $18,000 working with Dan.
My name is Brenda Griffin. Dan Franklin gave us over $15,000 more for our house. Definitely call Dan.
Okay, now it's your turn. Would you like a higher cash offer? I'm Dan Franklin. I'll pay you cash, and I'll pay you more. Call me today at 214-929-5555. That's 214-929-5555.
Attention joint pain sufferers. Which sounds better to you? Costly and painful injections or a painless, inexpensive pill? Introducing Synovia, the pain relief breakthrough that has doctors and patients cheering. The revolutionary science behind Synovia allows the so-called relief molecule to be delivered directly to the site of the pain without the need for a needle. Synovia provides extremely effective, lasting relief for only pennies a day. And Synovia delivers relief to your entire body. Just imagine moving pain-free again. You won't believe the difference until you feel the difference. That's why the makers of Synovia are making this exclusive radio offer. Try Synovia as directed for 60 days. If you don't feel relief, both to your body and your wallet, they'll give you double your money back. Yes, you heard right. Double your money back. Science confirms Synovia is a safe, inexpensive, and effective alternative to painful, expensive injections. Try it today, completely risk-free, by calling 888-201-1110. That's 888-201-1110. Call 888-201-1110 now.
How would you describe your health care? If you're like most Americans these days, the word affordable isn't top of mind. Well, here's some good news. There's actually a trusted healthcare option that is affordable. It's called Medishare. Unlike insurance, Medishare is Christian healthcare sharing, a community of more than 200,000 believers across America who share each other's medical expenses. It's about half the cost of insurance, and it's fully acceptable under the law. And here's the best part. Because Medishare is based on biblical principles, you never pay for things that go against your beliefs. Medishare is affordable health care for Christians.
Learn how thousands of Christians can help you save on your health care. For your free information guide, call 844-41-BIBLE. Now available in Montana. Medishare, affordable biblical health care. Call 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE.
Have you ever considered joining the military but stopped because you couldn't deploy to a foreign country? Believe it or not, the state of Texas has its own military force that stands alongside the Texas National Guard, the Texas Air National Guard, and serves only inside the state of Texas. It's called the Texas State Guard. I'm Tech Sergeant John Wells of the 4th Air Wing, and we're looking for you to join us. Give us a call at 877-398-8350. That's 877-398-8350. If you love Texas as much as we do, join the 4th Air Wing of the Texas State Guard.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. A true and dear friend of all of us, and certainly the Wells Report, is a guy named Dr. Everett Piper. He is the president of Oklahoma Wesleyan University. This is a real university. This is a truly amazing man with a truly amazing school. and he has written a book, Not a Daycare, Why a Coddled Nation is a Crippled Nation. Dr. Everett Piper, welcome to the Wells Report. Good to have you back.
Oh, I'm honored to be on. Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure, sir. We have talked to you several times about this amazing issue that we find ourselves in, where America's college campuses and university campuses are turning into, quite literally, the inmates running the asylum. I mean, why in heaven's name would you bother going to a university for an education if you already knew everything there was to know about going to college? It seems odd to me.
Well, you're spot on. That is one of the obvious, logical questions every parent, everybody who's paying tuition, every student should be asking. Why do you want to go to an institution that teaches this pablum? Why would you go after an institution that's going to coddle you rather than confront you? Why in the world do you think education is supposed to be safe? Last I knew, I never grew unless somebody made me feel uncomfortable. Every time in my life where I've grown and matured and become bigger and better than what I was before, it's because somebody actually cared enough to stand in my way and challenge me and confront me rather than stand there and coddle me and make me feel comfortable. You know, this whole safe space, the call for safe spaces and demand for trigger warnings is antithetical to what a good liberal arts education is supposed to be because a liberal arts institution is supposed to educate us in freedom and liberty and liberation, and it's not supposed to make us feel comfortable being wrong.
Let's talk a little bit about the differences between the liberal arts education and what has become a trigger word for what many of us consider to be bad government, which is liberal government. What is the difference there?
Well, my first book, which was titled Why I'm a Liberal and Other Conservative Ideas, actually answers that question, because I'm arguing that as a conservative, a person who believes in conserving things, a conservationist, I believe that you should conserve the environment, the owls, the trees, the water, the air, yes, but there are even more important things to conserve, and those are the time-tested truths, those self-evident truths that are endowed to us by our Creator, because without those, we are not a free people. So a conservative today is arguably more classically liberal because the word liberal initially meant liberty, liberation. A liberal arts institution was established, let's say, 1,000 years ago at Oxford to educate a free man and a free woman, a free culture, a free society, to educate us in terms of what it meant to be liberated. Thus, today, you and I are more classically liberal because we believe in conserving those things that liberate. Jesus told us, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. The goal of the academy should be truth, not opinions and not comfort, not power and popularity, but truth.
And when you say the academy, you are referring to the colleges and universities, the finishing education of a typical human.
Absolutely. Academy with a capital A, if you will, the university, the college. Higher education should reach for those ideas that are higher. Richard Weaver told us in 1948 when he wrote his seminal work, Ideas Have Consequences, that ideas have consequences, and that good ideas, the higher ideas, will result in a good culture, good people, good kids, good corporations, good communities, and that bad ideas result in the opposite. And what you're seeing in the campus greens and the courtyards across our nation right now, from Berkeley to Yale to Missouri and Middlebury, is a bunch of students who are pouting and throwing temper tantrums because they don't like what you say. And they don't like what I say. And they actually believe that they can shout us down and silence us under the banner of tolerance. They actually say, I can't tolerate your intolerance because you're intolerable. I hate those hateful people because they're hateful. I'm sure that nothing is sure. These people make no sense.
Exactly. And that is why all of us are sitting here scratching our heads going, geez, Bunky, what's the issue? I mean, please by all means, tell me what the issue is so you might know what the issue is too.
Well, I believe what their issue is power. They are ideological fascists. They're not in favor of academic freedom. What's my point? A fascist was a Roman bundle of sticks bound together so tightly that it could not be broken because of its common bond. That's where we get the word fascism. And right now you see it on these college campuses that I just referenced. If you don't comply, if you don't agree, if you're not one of us ideologically, we will crush you. We will silence you. We will expel you. This is not academic freedom. This is ideological fascism.
There is no doubt about it. So what I need to know is how is it that the left of America is being referred to as liberal when nothing could be farther from the truth?
Because you and I and the conservatives listening right now, we allowed our language to be co-opted. He who defines the terms always wins the debate. And we've allowed our language to be co-opted by a progressive establishment that turns everything upside down. The word green is a color. It's not a political agenda. The word gay should stand for happy, not sexual license. And I've got news for you. Sex and love are not synonymous. There are lots of people in our lives that we love, but we don't have sex with. But today we see these banners that love wins. Really what it's implying is that sex wins. And guess what? A male and a female are objectively definable terms. A female is a reality. Women are real. They're not fabrications and fantasies. They're not the product of dysphoric, delusional males. Women are real. I still teach biology at Oklahoma Wesleyan University. I think if women are going to have rights, you've got to acknowledge that they exist.
Boy, that's a great statement. I don't think that anybody has really put their thoughts on that as clearly as you have. In order for women to have rights, they first must exist, and that isn't necessarily existing in the mind of a dysphoric male. What a brilliant quote. We are speaking, by the way, with a brilliant man. He is Dr. Everett Piper. He has written the book, Not a Daycare, Why a Coddled Nation is a Crippled Nation. You have to buy this book. You've got to buy this book, especially if you have a college-age child, as I do. And, I'm really, really concerned, Doctor. I am very concerned that my son is going to show up on some college campus someplace and be filled with what has been laughingly referred to as college claptrap.
Well, and you should be concerned. I think you would be foolish if you weren't concerned, because you basically would be living under a rock or living in a cave or something if you didn't recognize that this is a problem. I'm always asked at the end of one of my rants, such as this one, what's the solution? And my answer is this: stop sending your kids to these institutions that teach this pablum. Vote with your feet, vote with your pocketbook. Stop sending kids that teach your kids. Stop sending your kids off to institutions that actually work to tear down everything you've tried to do in your kid's life. In other words, why would you spend, to quote the scriptures, why would you spend 18 years of your life training up your child in the way he should go, and then drop him off at an institution that in the first 18 minutes celebrates the fact that they're contradicting everything that you've taught them? This is not what education should be about. Education should be about pursuing those things that are true, not protecting your opinion or mine or your sons or your daughters. I don't give your kid a diploma in opinions when he graduates from Oklahoma Wesleyan University. I actually hope he's learned something, because opinions always lead to bondage and slavery. Pol Pot, Mao, and Robespierre, and Chavez, and Hitler, and Mussolini, all the despots of history had opinions, and it didn't end well. But truth sets us free, and that should be what you pay for when you drop your money on the barrelhead to go to a university or to a college.
Okay, so you say these things, and obviously Oklahoma Wesleyan is the place where all of us, not just our kids, but every single human being on the planet should go for an education, because obviously I have talked to an awful lot of people from the academy, to use your words, and I have never, ever run across anybody that was so clear and so understanding of what they were trying to accomplish than you, sir. And it seems to me that there ought to be other universities that feel this way, and more importantly, there should be people that hear a conversation like this from this time and place, and the word should go forth and so on across the land. But the people that actually run these institutions, they've got a major gut check ahead, or this whole thing's going to collapse around their ears. At least that's what it seems like to me.
I'll blame my industry. My industry is education. I've been an academic and educator my entire career. We created this monster. This is our fault. We've been teaching narcissism and self-absorption for some 20, 30, 40 years, and now we're surprised that we have narcissistic and self-absorbed students. We shouldn't be. We've created the monster, and it's turning around to bite us. So the question is, what do we do? And the answer is clear. In all of human history, there is no worldview that has granted more freedom, more human freedom, than the Judeo-Christian ethic, those self-evident truths endowed to us by our Creator. Those ideas have granted more freedom and more human flourishing than any other ideas in human history. So we have to fight for those ideas and argue for those ideas and trust truth to be the judge of the debate. That's the beauty of the conservative message today. We trust truth to judge the debate, not power. We actually want to have an argument, a robust exchange of ideas, a debate. We believe that the outcome of that will be truth. And we can release ourselves to engage in that debate in the academy or in the family room or in the classroom or in the courtroom, because Lady Justice is blind, because she recognizes she can't put her thumb on the scales, that the scales have to be objective and true. C.S. Lewis said this: you can do no measuring without a measuring rod outside of those things being measured. And if you don't have that measuring rod within the academy, within education, then it's worthless, because it becomes nothing but the pursuit of what's popular, not the pursuit of what's true.
Okay, all this being said, the other day, about 100 graduates of the University of not really relevant anymore. Okay, Notre Dame, it's a different set of words. Anyway, about 100 students walked away from somebody who was trying to impart a different idea, a different set of beliefs, what have you. Mike Pence was the speaker, and just because of the outright disrespect shown by these 100 students at the University of Notre Dame. Are you kidding me? The Holy Cross Fathers would be, they would be knocking people on their butts. If they were here right this minute, they'd be physically knocking people on their butts with blows to their faces, because this is just such an affront to everything that they believed. So what I'm trying to figure out is, how do you have a robust debate with someone who will say, you are hitting me with a microaggression, I'm going to my safe space, I am not going to listen to you, I'm going to throw a Molotov cocktail in your pocket, on and on and on?
Well, I think my first reaction is to say, do what Jesus did. When Jesus was when he was confronted with absurdity, when he was confronted with rude behavior or an illogical question or a sinful position, if you will, from his adversary, what did he almost always do? He asked a simple question, a rhetorical question. Which one of you is without sin? Would you like to throw the first stone? Why do you call me Lord? And then what did the Son of God then do? My land, he could have won the debate. He knew the answer, but he almost never really debated. He let the impact of his question sink in, and he watched them drop their stones and walk away. We need to ask these kids the rhetorical question: can you tolerate my intolerance? We need to ask them, you say you hate hateful people. Tell me how that works. You act as if you're sure that you're right, but yet you keep telling me that there's nothing in life that's sure. Ask these questions and then shut up and listen to them, because I'll bet you my paycheck they'll have no answer. And then trust the conviction of truth to cause them to recognize that they just sawed the branch off, sawed off the branch upon which they sit, and they're going to come tumbling down, and it's not going to be comfortable. There is no justice. They claim to be social justice warriors. Ask them this question: how can there be any justice without a judge? And then let them answer it. They can't.
Dr. Everett Piper is the president of Oklahoma Wesleyan University. Obviously, that's where you should send your kids. It's where I'm going to send my kid, I think. I'm not sure. I've got to convince him first. That being said, we have more time with Dr. Everett Piper. I don't suggest you move. No, I'm not talking about actually, I don't suggest that you even reach out to grab a glass of water. I want you to not move until he returns, and you can hear the rest of this conversation. Next on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
What if you could have an experience of a lifetime this year, something that goes beyond the mundane and gives you a unique perspective, not a vacation, an opportunity to change your life? Hi, Mike Gallagher here. A timely and important expedition to the Holy Land of Israel awaits you. Make plans now for the Stand With Israel tour happening this fall. Join me on a 9-day trip to Israel that will offer you firsthand insight into Israel's fascinating past and promising future. We'll introduce you to the geopolitical, economic, and security dynamics of a truly remarkable place. Get a behind-the-scenes view into many of the places you've read and heard about all your life, all during Jerusalem's 50th anniversary. The Western Wall, Jerusalem, the Dead Sea, and so much more, with expert guides, important lectures at key sites, all in the comfort and safety of first-class accommodations. Look forward to something special this year. Stand With Israel for the details about this all-inclusive trip happening October 22nd through November the 1st.
Look forward to something special this year. Stand With Israel. For details about this all-inclusive trip happening this fall, visit 660amtheanswer.com. theanswer.com.
Acme Home Insurance.
Yes, I'd like to make a claim.
What are you wanting to claim, sir?
My air conditioner broke down.
Sorry, but your home insurance doesn't cover air conditioner breakdowns.
So what do you cover?
Home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse? But that'll never happen.
But if it did, you'd be covered, sir.
But not my air conditioner?
I'm afraid not.
But his air conditioner could have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield, plus components of 20 other major home systems and appliances, like his electrical system, plumbing, refrigerator, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-400-5602. Home insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Life happens. Have a plan. Get a home warranty from American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-400-5602. That's 1-800-400-5602. 1-800-400-5602.
For me, it was the big S-Class from the 90s. Beautiful. My friend's dad had one.
The SL. All of the SLs. I've been watching those since I was a kid.
I think the 1971 SC was the first Mercedes that just blew me away.
Everyone remembers the first time they saw one, and the day they began to long for a Mercedes-Benz of their own. Well, that day may be a lot closer than you think. With a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, you can experience the luxury, the unparalleled safety, the performance, and the style Mercedes-Benz is famous for at a price you can afford. Beautiful SUVs, sedans, coupes, and convertibles that are factory certified and covered by an unlimited mileage warranty for up to 3 years, so you can drive without a worry for as far as you like. And during the certified pre-owned sales event going on now through May 31st, you can receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and special financing available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services, only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. You've waited long enough.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
Fitness HQ and Busybody Store.
Gary, you know that there are people out there who have that old piece of exercise equipment they're just not using.
I know you're 100% right, Craig. So let's do something to get our customers into our Busybody and Fitness HQ stores and re-inspire them to work out again.
What were you thinking?
How about we offer all of our customers double the trade-in value on their old equipment towards the purchase of a new piece of equipment?
Wow, that's amazing. Double the value on trades. And on top of that, now through Memorial Day, let's offer up to 18 months of interest-free financing and free delivery and installation.
Plus, all brands like Precor, Octane, True, Horizon, Life Fitness, Nordic Track, and Cybex are on sale up to $1,200 off.
And to top it all off, our Busybody and Fitness HQ stores can even get your sales tax back. Now there are no excuses to get back in shape for the summer.
Fitness HQ and Busybody Store.
Howdy, folks. Colonel Sanders here to announce that KFC's new spicy, crispy Zinger chicken sandwich is now available in a $5 fill-up for a limited time. Why? Because who wants to spend $7 on a meal at a burger place when you could spend $5 on a hand-breaded Zinger chicken sandwich, wedges, a cookie, and a drink at KFC? I mean, we specialize in chicken. You need another reason? I didn't think so. Try the Zinger in a $5 fill-up at KFC today. KFC, it's finger-licking good. Limited time offer at participating KFCs. Tax extra.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Snoring a problem? Sleep apnea suspected? Go to simplesleepservices.com for the solution that worked for me. The simplest solution. Not surgery, implants, the CPAP machine. It is the Somnodent device. Simple oral appliance to take it home, pop it in, kiss your wife goodnight, and silent night. Simple Sleep Services. They're in Dallas and Fort Worth. Insurance covers most folks. Call them 469-685-1700. 469-685-1700 or simplesleepservices.com. simplesleepservices.com.
660 AM. The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM, The Answer. One of the all-time favorite guests of the Wells Report is Dr. Everett Piper. He is the president of Oklahoma Wesleyan University, and what I found out today was he's still teaching biology. I keep that in mind because if he was teaching biology, I might have a chance of actually getting more than a C in it. So, and I'm thinking about this because even as old as I am, I think I could probably do with a decent education, and I'm pretty sure that Oklahoma Wesleyan is where you find those, although it used to be more widespread, didn't it, Doctor?
Absolutely. Every institution in the Ivy League, except for one, was founded on a biblical ethic. The original motto of Harvard was to lay Christ at the bottom as the foundation of all learning. To lay Christ at the bottom as the foundation of all learning. Yale's mission statement was very much like that. So was Dartmouth and Princeton. So the Ivy League, as well as many state institutions, were grounded unapologetically so in a biblical worldview. My land, Berkeley, where you see these crazy protests right now, still has the motto, "Let there be light," a reference to the Bible. So yes, education has always been grounded in the higher truths, the better truths, the permanent truths, the immutable truths, in truth, in veritas. How in the world can you claim to be serious about education if you're denying the existence of objective truth? That's where we win this debate, because you can have no justice, you can have no freedom, you can have no liberty, you can have no male, you can have no female, you can have nothing if you don't recognize the reality of truth.
This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. I wish everybody in the world could hear this conversation. Dr. Everett Piper is our guest, president of Oklahoma Wesleyan University. Very, very quickly, give me about a minute as to why you decided to write this book.
Well, when I wrote the op-ed, this is not a daycare, it's a university. It went viral. You know that. You interviewed me.
Sure.
Several million people listened to it. Said, good for you. Regnery, publishing company, came to me and said, would you write a book under the same title? So I did, and it's coming out in August. As you said, it's titled, This Is Not a Daycare, Why a Coddled Nation is a Crippled Nation. And you can get it on Amazon. It's available for pre-order right now.
The Wells Report has a required reading list. This book is at the top of it, and it absolutely must be in your collection. So do what the good doctor says. Please do get Not a Daycare, Why a Coddled Nation is a Crippled Nation by Dr. Everett Piper, a name you need to remember because something tells me he's going to be writing some more books. I'm just thinking that once people get their teeth into this one from Regnery is going to be knocking on your door a lot, doctor, and hopefully that's good because that means I get to work with you and have conversations like this more often. How do people find out more about Oklahoma Wesleyan University, and how do they get in touch with you if that's possible?
You can follow me on Twitter. It's Dr. Everett Piper. That's BREVERETTPIPER. You can contact me on our website, and that's how you get a hold of Oklahoma Wesleyan University, and that's www.okwu.edu.
Look, you can't go another day without either this book. I know you're going to have to because it comes out in August, but you can't go another day without at least spending some time looking up Dr. Everett Piper. He has op-eds that are absolutely required reading. You must read this man's work. Doctor, like I keep saying, I hate to sound like a groupie, but I'm a groupie. I appreciate you coming by again and joining us on the Wells Report, and I'm looking forward to your next work so I can have another one of these incredible conversations.
Well, I'm honored that you've given me the time. I'm blessed by it, so thank you so much.
God bless you. Take good care, and God bless Oklahoma Wesleyan University. This is the Wells Report. Back with more in just a moment.
I would tell anyone looking for a car, don't waste your time. Go straight to Huff Hines. You'll get a great deal, and you'll be treated like family.
And on behalf of everyone at Huff Hines Chevrolet in Plano and Louisville, we'd like to thank you for voting Huff Hines the Consumer's Choice Auto Group of the Year for the 9th consecutive year. It goes to show when you give your customers a great selection, everyday low prices, and award-winning service after the sale, good things happen. Like you voting Huff Hines the best auto group in North Texas. And now at Huff Hines Chevrolet, save really big on one of the best selections in Texas. For more, click to HuffHinesChevyLouisville.com or HuffHinesChevyPlano.com or find new roads to Ray Huff Hines Chevrolet in Plano at Coit Road and Plano Parkway, and in Louisville, Huff Hines Chevrolet on I-35.
Huff Hines has it. Huff Hines has it.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-827-5948 now. That's 800-827-5948 for your free free reputation analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-827-5948 to learn more. 800-827-5948. That's 800-827-5948. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
I have actually been on Balance of Nature for a year now. I have MS, and I recently had an MRI. This is the first year that I've had a stable MRI, so I'm thrilled. When I have an MRI with MS, usually there are glowing spots that come through, which is damage on the nerves in my brain and my spinal cord, and when they're glowing, it means they're active. And then my last MRI, they pulled it up, and I honestly couldn't believe that it was my MRI. There was nothing glowing. And in fact, the dark spots were shrinking. They were healing. And the doctor actually said to me, I think we're in remission. I was so happy. I had no idea that that could be my reality.
The new challenge will allow you to receive 2 months of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies free. And we'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-246-8751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code 660AM.
When you have sleep apnea, traveling can be a real drag because you have to drag your big, bulky home CPAP device with you everywhere you go. But not anymore. Now you can travel easily and sleep comfortably anywhere thanks to Transcend, the world's very first mini CPAP. And right now, you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights. So call now. 1-800-600-4133. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. You can even add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so incredibly small and light, you can easily fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Now you can enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. But don't delay. To receive your 10-night in-home trial, call minicpap.com now. 1-800-600-4133. Again, that's 1-800-600-4133.
Warning. If you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-600-8199. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-600-8199. That's 1-800-600-8199. 1-800-600-8199.
660 AM. The Answer. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Mark Davis is going to join us on Monday. You want to be there for that broadcast, and here is why.
Hey, JD, good Friday night and a good Memorial Day weekend to all as we pay proper tribute to those folks who have laid down their lives so we can be free. I want to tell you, it's also the unofficial start of summer. Get ready for a long, hot summer. A lot's going to bring the heat with phony scandals, obstructions to the Trump agenda. We better be ready to fight ourselves and get ready to get on out there for a summer of hot topics. Have a fantastic Memorial Day weekend, everybody. See you back Tuesday morning on The Mark Davis Show, 7 to 10 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
It's not Monday. It's going to be Tuesday when you get Mark Davis. All right, so a couple of things you want to keep in mind here. You've heard about the Egypt military fighting back against the attackers who stormed a bus full of Coptic Christians and killed 28 of them on their way to a monastery to pray. The Egyptian military struck bases where the attackers had trained. The president said without elaborating. No group immediately claimed responsibility for the attack, but Egypt's Coptic Christians have become the preferred target of the Islamic State in the region. I direct my appeal to President Trump. I trust you, your word, and your ability to make fighting global terror your primary task, El-Sisi said in a televised interview. Trump condemned the attack, blaming what he called evil organizations of terror and thuggish ideology. As many as 10 attackers in 3 SUVs stormed the bus, dressed in military uniforms and wearing masks. Before demanding that the passengers recite the Muslim profession of faith, the gunman opened fire. 22 people were wounded. Only 3 children survived the attack. The Copts United news portal reported the victims were on their way to visit a monastery to pray. That was as close to yesterday as you can get without it being yesterday. However, about 7 hours ago, Egyptian forces launched airstrikes on 6 jihadist training camps in Libya. In other words, Egypt flew to Libya, the Egyptian Air Force flew to Libya and attacked 6 jihadist training camp bases. That in retaliation for the attack on Coptic Christians in Egypt, killed earlier in the day. 28 were killed, many of them children. In a televised address to the Egyptian people, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said, "Before we spoke to you today, we launched a strike against one of the camps where the jihadists train. Egypt will not hesitate in striking terror camps anywhere, either inside the country or outside it," el-Sisi said. According to state TV, a total of 6 targets were hit. The Egyptian leader did not specify where in Libya his forces struck, but the military sources cited by Reuters news agency said that strikes were carried out near Derna, where Cairo believes militants responsible for the Friday attack were trained. In February of 2015, Egypt carried out airstrikes against the Islamic State in neighboring Libya after a graphic video was released showing the beheading of 21 Christians, almost all of them Egyptian Copts. Earlier this month, Egypt's Air Force destroyed 15 vehicles carrying weapons and ammunition after they illegally entered the country from Libya. We will protect our people and Egypt's national security from evil, el-Sisi said. He also addressed U.S. President Donald Trump, saying, "You have said that your priority is to confront terrorism. I trust you are capable of doing that." Trump condemned the attack, calling it the work of evil organizations of terror and the result, thuggish ideology. So what you need to know out of this is that Egypt has struck back with Egyptian Air Force airstrikes on terror training camps in Libya. Now, what will the Americans do? Will the Americans support those attacks? Let's hope so. Let us hope so. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. You have a few more moments to memorialize someone here on Memorial Day. This would be somebody that is no longer with us, somebody that served in the United States military or lost their lives serving in the United States military. That is the reason for the day. And we on the Wells Report have made the commitment to celebrate America in American ways. This being a national holiday, Memorial Day, where we honor our war dead, seemed like a good idea. And this is something that we've done. Gosh, have we done this for 10 years? We've done this. Yeah, we've done this. We've done the close. It's been close to 10 years. We arrived here in Texas in 2006. So we've certainly done it since we came to 660 AM The Answer. So it's been about 8 years. It'll be 8 years. Let's see. No, it'll be 8 years next April. So it has been 7 years. 866-660-5759. If you would like to memorialize someone, please hurry. This would be the time. 866-660-5759. There are a couple of other stories here that you need to be aware of. David French wrote an op-ed piece that came up with a very interesting concept. David French writes, let me share with you deeply flawed words from the editorial board of the New York Times. I do this not because the Times is alone in its sentiment, but because the paragraph below is perfectly representative of the wrong approach to fighting terror. Reflecting on the Manchester bombing, the editors of the New York Times say this. Meanwhile, as hard as it is to admit, as hard as it is amid the shock and mourning, it is important to recognize this attack for what it is, an attempt to shake Britain, and by extension, the rest of Europe and the West, to its core, and to provoke a thirst for vengeance and a desire for absolute safety so intense it will sweep away the most cherished democratic values and inclusiveness of diverse societies. David French says, to the contrary, Britain should seek vengeance. And if terrorists want to provoke a climactic confrontation with the Middle East, then the West should give them the battle they crave. Why? Because they will lose, because they will be slaughtered, because they will be exposed as the violent hucksters they truly are. Underpinning the New York Times sentiment is the persistent, misguided belief that what we will face isn't a true war, but rather a particularly challenging law enforcement operation in which armies stay largely sidelined, the cops do their work, societies cope with terrorism in much the same way that they cope with other forms of criminal violence. For those who subscribe to this view, the fundamental response to terror, in addition to mourning the dead and expressing love and support for their families, is to find precisely the people responsible and punish them precisely with the penalties prescribed by law. If we achieve less, the police have failed. If our response sweeps beyond those responsible for the bad act, then we have committed our own injustices and thus perpetuated the cycle of hate and violence. This is brilliant here. In war, the goal is different. In war, the goal is to meet an attack with an overwhelming response, to find and punish those responsible for discrete acts, kill their allies, annihilate their military organization. This martial act of vengeance and wrath, yes, vengeance, should be carried out in accordance with the laws of war, but the laws of war are no impediment to decisive military force. He is correct, especially regarding this war on terror. David French has it exactly correct. We should go and obliterate those who stand in our path. We should go and obliterate, annihilate in place those who would call themselves ISIS, those who would call themselves Al-Qaeda, those who would call themselves jihadists, those who would call themselves the Taliban, those who would essentially kill for sport, and then say that they are operating in the true faith of Islam. That's not what they're doing. They're slaughtering people because they think it's fun. And to justify their slaughter, they're using Islam. And yes, this is the same Islam that would shoot somebody in the head for drawing a picture of the Prophet. Yeah, I understand that. So why don't they shoot people in the head for desecrating Islam? I don't know. I'll tell you, they better figure it out fast. Because if they don't get that taken care of, people are going to start thinking that, boy, there are more Muslims involved in this jihad than we thought. You see, right now we have a very clearly defined Muslim enemy, ISIS. We should go destroy them. Remorselessly. Ruthlessly. I don't know that it should be called vengeance. I suppose it could be vengeance. I would disagree with David French. I believe in the term decisive military power because it takes the vengeance thing out of it. I mean, it's not vengeance to execute a murderer. It is an intent to get rid of that person for all time. 866-660-5759. Let me get to a couple of memorials here. Christopher in the Colony, Texas. Thanks for joining us, Chris. Hi.
I would like to memorialize my brother's First Sergeant Jimmy S. Howard, and he served in both Gulf Wars.
Is he no longer with us?
He is no longer with us.
I am so very sorry.
It's all right. He made it back both times and had a heart attack on a racquetball course. But that being beside the point, he did go to every place the Army ever sent him and did his duty and served very well and made us all proud.
God bless him, his memory, and his family. Thank you very much for sharing that. Did you serve?
I did not.
Well, God bless you. Thanks very much for sharing that story of your brother with us. What a fantastic memorial.
Thank you, sir. And I enjoy your show. Have a good day.
You too. Take good care. Richard in North Richland Hills. Thanks very much for joining us. Welcome. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, my grandfather, it was one of those little pieces of war thing. Anyway, he was the first of us born here in the United States. We came from Ireland. And he joined the Army. And like every good, Irishman, he decided to go out, take a weekend pass, and with his buddies and go get drunk. So anyway, he passed out in town, and it happened to be that his birthday is December 7th. So he went out on Saturday night on December 6th, and his buddies and him got drunk, missed the bus back to the base, and the MPs found the next day after Pearl Harbor, because this was December 7th, 1941.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so he was absent without leave during the time of war.
Oh.
So they put him in the brig, and about a week later, they came up to him and said, Private Casey, you were absent without leave, without the authorization during the time of war. Your punishment is death. Or we have this new thing called paratroopers, and if you were to volunteer, we could drop all charges. Anyway, he volunteered and became a part of the 101st Airborne.
Had a baby.
And talked to his brother-in-law to being a part. His Uncle Eli went to 82nd. Spent his last 2 years in a Italian POW camp. But anyway, my grandfather, to stay alive, he wound up jumping on D-Day, Pearl Harbor. Not Pearl Harbor, but on D-Day and the Battle of the Bulge, and was part of that and all because his birthday was December 7th, and him, like a good Irishman, went out in town, got drunk, and missed the last bus back. That little piece of the war.
There you have it, Richard. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What a great story. God bless you. Thank you very much, and God bless the 101st Airborne. 866-660-5759. 866-660-5759. You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Use it. Got just one more chance for a memorial next on the Wells Reports.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-6213. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-6213. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-6213. 1-800-400-6213.
Oh, thank goodness. Honey, it's Terminix. The ants are everywhere. I don't know where they're coming from.
It's a good thing you called when you did. A single colony can have tens of thousands of ants. You could have one colony or several.
There's only one way to find out.
If pests like cockroaches, spiders, centipedes, scorpions, mice, rats, or ants have invaded your home,
HQ, I've got a confirmed ant colony in the upstairs bathroom.
Terminix will scour every hiding place and stop them in their tracks with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For a free pest estimate, call 1-800-300-2501.
There's a second colony in the downstairs crawl space. Repeat, 2 ant colonies.
Terminix is America's leading termite and pest control provider with 90 years experience and expertise.
I knew it. Found an ant nest 100 feet out in the backyard. We got him.
For your free pest estimate, call Terminix, Defenders of Home, 1-800-300-2501. That's 1-800-300-2501.
30-day money-back guarantee at participating locations. Limitations apply. See plan for details.
Have you ever thought you'd like to flip houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? Are you ready to be your own boss so you can start living the good life? Hi, I'm Preston Ely. I used to be so broke. I had my electricity turned off 9 times, but I figured out a way to quit my job and find financial freedom in real estate. For a limited time, I want to send you a free copy of my smash hit selling book, How to Get Rich in Real Estate. It shows you how to copy exactly what I did so you can make money from the comfort of your own home without even doing any manual labor. I've already given away 5,000 books and they're going fast. To get one before they're gone, call 1-800-400-5220. Listen, if you're sick and tired of stressing about money, this book could change your life. It's short, fun to read, easy to understand, and awesome. To find out how to get your free book while supplies last, call 1-800-400-5220. Call 1-800-400-5220. 1-800-400-5220.
Sometimes what you want most from your car is nothing. No headaches, no surprises, no anxiety when it's late at night and you're on some distant freeway in a thunderstorm. Owning a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz can be that anxiety-free experience on every level. You know you're in one of the safest and most thoughtfully engineered vehicles on the road. And with an unlimited mileage warranty, you can drive as far as you want for up to 3 years, with roadside assistance included. Your sense of confidence and adventure are as unlimited as the warranty itself. Now you can drive the car of your dreams and realize that nothing is everything. And during the Certified Pre-Owned Sales event going on now through May 31st, you can receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and special financing available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. Only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. You've waited long enough.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
Our sister station, 94.9 KLTY, Celebrate Freedom 27 from Interstate Batteries.
A day of fun for your family with Crowder, Matthew West, Britt Nicole, Holland, and more.
Saturday, June 24th at South Fork Ranch. Get your official Celebrate Freedom 27 t-shirts, memorabilia, VIP experiences, and more at CelebrateFreedom.com.
Sponsored by Interstate Batteries, Care Now, Splash Kingdom, Cornerstone Staffing, North Texas Chevy Dealers, and 94.9 KLTY.
Sean Hannity here for my friends at Generator Supercenter, the great American story. Now, this started in 2005 with 2 brothers selling and repairing generators out of their garage in Texas. Today, they are the #1 Generac dealer in the nation. #1 means more savings for you. When the power goes down, keep your home or business up and running with a Generac standby power system from the Generator Supercenter. Financing available, payments as low as $100 a month. GeneratorSupercenter.com. That's GeneratorSupercenter.com.
660 AM The Answer. 660 AM TheAnswer.com. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. John David Wells with Rick from Wills Point, Texas. Rick, welcome to the show.
Hi, John David. This is Rick Hawksley from Wills Point, Texas.
Hey,
I'd like to tell you about my uncle, Roger Hawksley, and second lieutenant, and he died on D-Day, Omaha Beach.
Oh, I'm so sorry. D-Day.
Never met him.
Never met him, and he. Man, he was one of those guys that I walked past when I was there March before last.
Oh, I bet you. He's still buried there.
Yeah, you should go.
I think I will.
You should go and you should find him because you will never be the same. I mean, you will just never be the same.
just something else. Yeah.
Yeah. Rick, thanks very much for sharing your memorial. We sure appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Don David.
God bless you. God bless you. And so, I hope you have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. It is my hope that you enjoy your time off if you have some, and your family as well. God bless you, and congratulations, graduates. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Nikki Stiver. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is John David Wells. God bless you and yours. We'll see you again soon for another edition of the Wells Report.
This just in from the world of medical science. Are costly and painful injections for joint pain a thing of the past? According to some medical experts, the answer is yes. Researchers have perfected a new pill that is painless, inexpensive, and extremely effective in reducing joint pain, virtually eliminating the need for painful injections. The product is called Synovia. Dr. Jacob Moss explains how it works.
As a doctor, I find the research behind the active ingredient in Synovia to be very exciting. Synovia is a great option for those